Good morning, good people. It is me, Carol. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about goal setting and sticking to your goals. My previous video, in one of my previous videos, I'm going to put it up here somewhere. I talked about 2021 financial goals that you should try for 2021. In this video, I actually wanted to talk to you guys about sticking to your goals and a couple tips that I have, about six. Let's see on my paper. Six things you can do to help you stick to your goal and stay motivated. So if you want to see those 6 things, or know those 6 things, make sure you stay tuned. Oh, and make sure you subscribe for more. Okay. The first one is kind of like a no-brainer to me because I've been doing this for a while and I found that it does help me with my goals. Is writing it down. Writing your goals down, and when you write your goals down, to be very specific about your goals, which is 2 in 1. It's a twofer. Okay, so writing your goals down. Let's say you have a goal of, more specifically, finances. In this video, I'm going to be talking about finances and maybe fitness as well, or self development, whatever. So let's say you have a financial goal of, by June you want to have saved $5,000. How are you going to get that? How are you going to get to that point? And write down what your goal is, and write down the specific steps that you are going to be taking to get to that goal, so that you can make sure that you're tracking your progress as well. So that's number 1, is to write down your goal and be very specific with that goal. Be it, I want to lose 30, for me, I want to lose 50 pounds by June. So what exactly do I need to do? Why? First of all, you want to know your why. Like, why do you want to do that? Because that will be a motivator for you. For me, wanting to build wealth. Why do I want to build wealth? Why do I want to save money? Why do I want to purchase a home? Why do I want to lose weight? Just more so asking yourself these questions, because some people have this idea in their head where it's like, oh, I want to do this, but they don't really have a why. And it's not driven by, they're not driven to get it accomplished, because they don't really have a root purpose or reasoning behind why they want to get that accomplished. I want to have more money in my bank account, but why? So you can spend more. When I was saving money, I didn't have a specific reason why I was saving it. So I found myself digging into my savings account when I just needed money. Now that I have my sinking funds and I have my moments, but now that I have an emergency fund, I know I cannot touch my emergency fund unless it's an emergency. That is my why. That's why my emergency fund is there, for an emergency. Anything outside of that, I cannot touch it. So that is what you want to do. You want to write down your goal, your actual goal, and your why, and be specific with your goals. Another thing that you want to do, another thing that you want to do to help you stick to your goal, is when you're writing this goal down, you're creating your goal, you also want to make it a SMART goal. So that means that you want to make it something that's attainable, something that's reasonable, something that's timely. You want to be specific to the time as well. So like I said, you want to save a certain amount of money by June 21st. I want to save $5,000 by June 21st. Knowing your own finances, if you're able to do that, you may even be able to exceed that. But if you're making money and you're not able to save it, just planning it out in the projection of that, then maybe you have a goal of getting a higher income. And then you say, that's a part of me getting to the goal of getting my $5,000 and saved, is bringing my income up. Because right now, what I have now, I know I'm not going to be able to save that. So that's 2 goals. You'll have a higher income by either getting promoted at work, getting another job, and you'll also be able to save that $5,000. The number 3, it kind of ties into the SMART goals, but I would say something that you should do, or the previous two things. Sorry, my window is open. You will hear outside because it's hot. It's hot as Satan toenails in this place, and I have on a sweater, but the window's open. I'm all kinds of a mess. Anyway, so the next thing that you want to do, that I would suggest you, is when it comes to the realistic goals and writing them down, also measure your goals out using numbers. And I'm going to give you an example. So when I say numbers, it's not just like 30 pounds by or $5,000 by. It's also the dates, the times. So it is kind of like that. It's not just the amount of weight you want to lose or the amount of money you want to save. It's also more specific to the dates. So having those dates written down, I want to have this done by this specific date, will help you motivate. Because when you see, okay, I haven't lost any weight, and like since January, it's April, I have 2 months, I have to get on it. So now you know, at least you may not get that 40-30 pounds off of you in those 2 months, you may, but you are more motivated to see this timeline, this deadline that you set for yourself. Some people are more driven by deadlines and work better under pressure. So that's another thing that you can do, is to set the specific date by which you want your goal to be accomplished, which is more specifically measuring those dates. And this brings me into the next step, the next thing that you can do to help you stick to your goal, and that is having check-ins. So having a check-in, which is 4, I think it's 4. Having the check-ins with yourself, having time set aside to check up on your progress. Maybe it's weekly, maybe it's monthly. I would not say daily, because that's just how I am. I can't do something daily, it would drive me crazy. So maybe it's once a week you set aside time on a Saturday evening. We can go over your progress. You can go over how much weight you've lost. For me, when I was losing weight and I was really keeping it off, I would do it once a month just so I could take my measurements. I've done weekly, it drives me crazy. I've done daily, it drives me insane. So I know that with me gauging how you are, how you react, some people are better with goal setting, it's better with checking in daily. Some people are better with checking in weekly. Some people are better checking in at longer spans of time. I'm me being that person, depending on what it is. When it comes to weight loss, when it comes to finances, I'm more of a weekly, bi-weekly type of person. I don't have to check everything every day unless I lose like a bank card or something, and I have to check to make sure no one's using it. But that's a different story for a different day. And so that's something that you want to do, is making sure it's timely, right? It's a timely goal. I want to make sure this is done by this time so that you're motivated to get it accomplished. If you don't have like a specific time, at least with me, I know that if I don't have a specific date or time where I want to get something accomplished, it's just like, it's never ending. And that's like, for me, it's fun to see that I met a deadline, that I accomplished the goal, that everything that I wanted to worked out the way that I needed to work out. That is why that is something that is listed on this list of things that help you get to your goal. The next thing with your check-ins, I just went on to a different thing. Check-ins, that's what we were talking about. Check-ins, being able to check in on yourself to see what your progress is. Maybe it's the weekly, monthly, and being able to not just check in, but write down your progress. Because I think that, and I feel that when you see your progress and you see those things, that it'll allow you to get closer to your goal. It'll allow you to get, not only get closer to your goal, but motivate you to continue on. Like with my debt payoff, I did the snowball method. Seeing the progress that I made from all of this debt, it's more specifically consumer debt, even with my student loans, like when I'm paying off my federal loans, I had a lot of money that was like $5,000, $6,000, $3,000, $2,000. So as I paid off those smaller debts, the less I saw, the more I was motivated to continue on to pay it off, which is the snowball. That's what it's all about. So yes, that is a check-in, and that goes to like me checking in and seeing the progress. The next thing that you want to do, or you should try to do, is find support in your goals. I hear so many countless stories of people saying, well, I wanted to get out of debt, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, I wanted to lose weight. This is me too. I've had people jumping down my throat because I'm like, well, I'm a pescatarian, I don't eat meat anymore. And I do now, but starting in next year, well, in 2021, I'm planning on revisiting that lifestyle, eating habits, because I feel like it's best for me. Some people were like, why are you doing that? This is me. Sir, ma'am, it is my mouth, my stomach, my esophagus is my goals. So when you're around people that are naysayers or really don't understand what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, it's very difficult for you to stay motivated. So those are the people you kind of want to steer clear of, and be around people or converse and communicate with people that are very supportive in your goals. They they may not even be along the same track as you. They may not be wanting to necessarily lose weight, necessarily or whatever your goals are. But as long as they're saying, you know what, I got you, you're good, I support you, I'm rooting for you, your cheerleaders, you want to make sure you have those people in your corner. And it does not necessarily have to be someone that's close to you. It does not. I keep looking up here, but I'm supposed to be looking at you. It does not have to be someone that's close to you. It can be somebody on Facebook, it can be somebody you connect with on Instagram, it can be somebody on YouTube. You have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. And even if you're not directly communicating with these people, just having them in your space will help you stay motivated. There are so many people on YouTube, so many people on Facebook, Instagram that are trying to get their finances together, that are trying to get their mental health together, that are really working on themselves to grow and develop and be better for themselves, their families. So that is something that you can do. Explore. There are countless of groups on Facebook that are like really great support system, especially for women. But there are a lot of business groups, a lot of finance groups, there's a lot of healthy eating groups, and they are there to support and help other people grow and get to their goals. So I would definitely say find support that'll keep you motivated, that you can check in. And even in those support groups, maybe you can reach out to someone and say, hey, I need an accountability partner to help me get to my goal. That may be something that you want to do and try, and you should do and try. And last but not least, because I don't want to do too much, I want y'all to comment below and discuss these different things you could help you stick to your goals. The last thing that I would definitely say is to try to recognize and figure out your triggers or your roadblocks. I recently found for myself that I'm a stress eater. And I realized that I experiment with myself sometimes. But I found that I've gained weight. I moved to Arizona, gained like 60 pounds. Chicago was, of course, 60 pounds lighter. But I found that I was trying to change some things. And I realized that I found a couple of my own triggers when it comes to my personal journey, when it comes to weight loss and health. Also, some of my finance triggers. Stress is a really bad trigger for me. Depression. But there are some people and things that are attached to that stress and depression that makes me eat more mindlessly or spend more frivolously. And so those people, places, things, whatever, I have to figure out how to completely alleviate them from my life if they can be alleviated, or how to deal with it in a sense where it's not taking a toll on my emotions, where it's going to take a toll on my goals and me bettering myself. And I'm a work in progress, like everybody on the planet. Nobody's perfect, let's be honest. And so that's something that I wanted to leave that for the last tip, because I think that hopefully you get to this point, you watch this video, you are a trooper, and thank you for watching. But being able to really sit down with your thoughts, your emotions, to figure out, why do you spend more than you need to spend? Like this video I told you guys would be about weight loss or fitness. Why do you spend more than you need to spend? What is something that happened when you're spending $300 on something that you probably wouldn't get any other day? What's happening where you just completely said, F it, I'm eating a bunch of brownies today, because although my diet has been on point this whole week, this whole month, and I've lost 5 pounds, I want to eat a brownie. And I'm just going to keep binging and binging and binging and get back into the habit where you end up, So, and that's happened to me recently. So I'm not picking on anybody. This is just me personally telling y'all the rigmarole, what's going on in my head. So yes, that is the 6 tips, things that you can do to help you stick to your goals of any sort. Write them down. Make them SMART goals. Make them timely goals. Make sure you're able to measure them with specific dates, times, numbers. I want to do this amount by this time. Write them down, being specific with your goals. Make them timely. Measure them by numbers, be it the amount of how much I want to lose by, how much I want to gain by. I want to do this by the date. Have a date set in mind, specific date. Understanding and knowing your why. Why do you want to have this goal? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get a better job? Why do you want to build wealth? Why do you want to save money? Why? What is your reasoning? Because that will be your motivator. It'll keep you going. Doing your check-ins. Set a time of the week or the month. Gotta be on point. Every week, every 2 weeks, this day at this time. Every month, it's an appointment with yourself to check in and see your progress of the goal to the goals, the overall goals that you have. Finding support, going on Facebook, going on Pinterest, finding people on YouTube, finding people that are like-minded. There are a lot of groups on Facebook. I'm telling you guys, a lot of groups on Facebook, even some meetups, maybe some Zoom calls with people. I know there's a couple of groups in Facebook that are setting up Zoom calls so people can do networking events. So the last but not least, like I said, finding out what your triggers are and what your roadblock is to get you better, able, prepared, and ready to take off, get that goal, and get to where you're trying to be. So that is it for tips, for the 6 tips. I believe it's 6. My number's off. It's cool. But that's it for the tips that I have for ways to stick to your goals, especially with 2021. Make sure you check out my other videos. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys. Oh, if you watch this video to this point, you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And make sure you check out my other videos about goal setting, my 2021 money goals, and other videos. Stick around, peruse the hours. That is it for this. That is it for this video. Comment below. Let me know what is something that you found helped you stick to your goal. Let's talk about it amongst us, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.